Did y'all do? Something's wrong.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything.
Something's wrong with the.
I got the right timing of that.
No.
Nice,
You
like
know,
that.
think of how many times. No one's counting.
And now it's
Oh my
time
gosh, I
for
remember.
the
What'd you do that
countdown.
for? It's only
5,
10 seconds.
4.
You got
That was 10 seconds. 3.
Was it
2,
really?
Yeah.
I think
I'm-
10 seconds are
I'm
fast.
sitting here watching it. I'm watching the thing. So,
Oh.
do you want? If you want us to
Hello,
get kicked off, I
everybody.
can keep it going.
Well,
I've got a curl that's popping on
I
the
didn't
center.
say. I know. Me too.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I can't wait for today. Let me.
Oh, that's what it was.
Crikey, mate.
Crikey.
Hey, Linda.
Oh.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
Better than us, right?
No, Sandy and I are doing great.
I'm fabulous. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah.
No, what do you mean better than us?
Right, exactly. I think we're doing good.
I
It has
am
been a
great.
day.
Oh, look, I found it. Time to share.
What'd
Time
you
to
find?
share. Going to share.
Oh, whoosh.
Share.
I hit the mute button in the nick of time.
Join
In
us.
the nick of
What does
time.
even
for
the
the
nick of time mean?
Who's Nick?
Guy.
Exactly.
Right?
So, today we got some rain.
We
A
did
little
too.
bit of rain.
Randomly.
It was like
We got a
random.
lot.
It was random.
It's just been actually kind of random both days. Okay, so y'all got it 3 days in a row. We've only gotten 2 days worth of rain.
Right.
Fair enough. When you say y'all, you don't mean me, do you?
No, she was meaning me.
Okay.
At least
I mean,
Joe
I think-
isn't a merman.
Sorry.
Joe, y'all.
I'm
Joe,
sorry. I can't show you below the desk.
He's working on
So
it.
you just have to take my word for it.
I'm
So
kind of
I
glad.
almost told AJ yesterday.
What'd you almost tell him?
I'm kind of a mermaid because, I mean, my thighs have always rubbed together. I feel like that's what mermaid. There's no social distancing. Even as a child. There's no such thing as a thigh gap.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So how was your day, Miss Sandy?
Okay, so let me tell you. I was busy today, which is great. But so I got home and have y'all ever had lazy man enchiladas?
Yes,
No.
I hate them.
Okay, so I don't because
Ah.
I wanted to roll tonight. And then I thought, oh, that's just too much work. I wanted to
It
roll.
really
and
is, though.
fine. And I thought, okay, we'll just do skillet enchiladas. Yeah. Wanted to roll them up, light them
Like
up.
roll them like this? Not that I know anything about that. It's just,
I do. Wait, no, don't.
I heard about it on TV.
Right.
I'm in Illinois.
Right.
Enough
And so
said.
anyway, so we do it. We do them on the skillet. So brown the meat, throw the tortillas in, and then the sauce, and then
What
the
kind of
cheese.
tortillas?
Corn.
Okay. Just making sure. Make
Yeah.
sure you didn't get all. Anyway, moving on.
Glutinous. Anyway, I did that, and then I was watching. I'd already sat down. I was watching my crime stories,
Crime stories.
and
Yeah,
I got a
that's all.
call, and I
called
recognized. I recognized that name, and I was like, "Huh, Mr. Pineapples is calling me." So anyway,
Me?
I think Mr. Pineapples called to tell me about his day, but then I turned it all about me.
She like that. Just like
That's-
that.
I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, how are you? Well, I'm great. Long story short, I told him I was contemplating a nap and
She
or
did.
running. And so I said, I just haven't had the motivation. I've just been trying to figure out why I can't get motivated to run. So he and I talked about it, and I ended up running tonight. So I wish,
Oh, I'm sorry.
right,
Should have taken the nap.
right. If I had
Hashtag nap together 6 foot apart.
anyway, no, felt really good to get out. And so one of my friends, I met her mom today, and this lady was like the nicest lady. She said, "Gosh, you are gorgeous," and I'm like, "Hello, best friend. Where have you been?" I made a brand new
You're
best
like, did you watch our show last night?
I know. Anyway, so it was really good. So my day is great. And Mr. Pineapples, thank you. Thank
You're
you for calling
welcome.
me, and thank you for letting me talk about me, even though it was supposed to be about you.
It's okay. It's totally okay,
Next
honestly.
time, I'm going to listen to you.
Aw, I got one in the bank. Sweet.
Yep.
How was your day, Joe?
So listen to my day. Listen to my day. So I'm like pumped this morning because I am supposed to do certain things, and I'm just like going through my day. I go to work, and I actually do. I go to work.
No, drink a coffee.
I type up an email or two, and of course I have lunch, and then I get home. I come home, and I have to take my son to go pick up a gift for he's going to a birthday party or something Friday, whatever. So we go to do that, and then I'm like, we gotta hurry because I have a volleyball game tonight at 7 o'clock.
Oh.
So we gotta hurry. We're gonna play some volleyball. It's gonna be cool. So I bring him home, and then the producer's like, "Hey, I want to go somewhere." I'm like, "Oh, of course you do." And so
She didn't know you had a volleyball game, or she thought you had.
no,
plenty
she
of time?
knows that I had a volleyball game. I was like, but the place that she wanted to go is like right across the street. So we go across the street, and while we go across the street, I'm hearing this noise
Uh-oh.
inside
the
the
noise,
store,
Joe?
and that noise is a downpouring of rain.
Oh.
And we're playing sand volleyball, so
No volleyball.
so
Mud volleyball.
no volleyball.
Unless y'all play mud volleyball, right?
I was quite disappointed. I was so disappointed, in fact, that I took a nap. Instead,
Did
Good
have
for
a
you.
favorite?
I took a
You
nap.
know, old
And
man,
because
it's
we
okay.
had gone to Sonic to get some food, and then they texted me and said, "Hey, game's been canceled due to rain." Blah blah blah. So while we were at Sonic, though, their point of sale system went down, and they couldn't take any more orders. I had already placed the family's orders because I didn't want to eat before the game, and so I was without food. So I came home after my nap and made me some salmon and rice.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, lived up to the Asian stereotype right there. So I'm just saying, and it was good.
Speaking of Asian stereotype, did you see that video about the lady making the rice?
No, no, I did not. I guess.
You have to watch that.
I think all of us did. If we know, I think we know what you're talking about, Sandy.
It upset the Asian community.
Really? I
He was
saw
like,
one.
Why
so I
did you
saw-
drain it? It's like, why are you draining it? And then you're putting more water in it.
Right. I saw one TikTok where the Asian guy was like, "People ask me all the time how I make rice," and he pulled up a rice maker. This is how we do it. It's like, y'all are making it hard. But other than that, yeah. So my day was good. Mr. Pineapples, how was yours?
The day has been odd. It's hard to describe, to be honest with you guys. So, I think I would say that it is definitely not emotional, but one of those days where it's just like things happen today, and there's some processing. So my emotional muscles and my brain muscles are all a little bit flexing all day, and so it's kind of one of those like I don't know what to do. Like I'm kind of glad we're on the show, to be honest, because it helps me focus on others. And I love, because I feel like when I'm on the show and we have guests, I am focused on them and I can't wait to hear their story and know what's going on. And I'm excited for tonight's guest because I've known the guy and I just have a lot of questions and I just can't wait to ask him. So, you know, with all the stuff that I got, and not all of it's bad, not all of it's good, but it's one of those where it's kind of like, you know, I feel accomplished, but I hate that I had to feel accomplished this way. Does that kind of make sense?
Sure.
I think so. A
Yeah,
little bit.
like you're going to be a better person when you come out on the end, but you hated having to go through it like
Yes.
that.
Right.
Yes. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right. So it's like picking up dog poop in your backyard. You didn't really want to do it, but you felt good afterwards. And the yard looked good.
I agree with the yard looking good. I don't know that I felt good picking up poop. Like when I pick up my snake's poop, I don't ever feel good picking it up, but I'm like, at least it's clean. So yeah,
What's
there's
the
that.
size of their poop?
Yeah, but you weren't like overly
Like a
happy about
size of
it.
a
But
meatball.
you weren't
The
like,
size of a meatball.
We call it a spicy meatball.
That little thing like the meatball?
Like a really small meatball, like about. They don't come out in pellets. It just comes out in blah, like
Oh.
blurp, blue. It's like an onomatopoeia in real life.
Like diarrhea.
This dude threw
Something
out
like that.
onomatopoeia. Can you watch out there?
I mean,
Really?
I can't even pronounce it.
Sorry for not having the promos for tomorrow, but I'll get them over. I'll get them on there tonight. Okay.
Hey, Jamie.
Yes, sir.
Who do we have on the show tonight?
Let me tell you guys. Let me tell you, wonderful people. Who's coming tonight?
Don't copy AJ because that's all hers.
Yeah, I
was on cloud 9 with her for like a while. I was like, man, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got an awesome guest here tonight. I've known this guy for a little while, to be honest with you. I met him up here when I had like my second job here in Illinois, and he was a cool cat when I met him. I liked the guy, but he had shared a dream of his, and I was like, that's kind of cool. We got to be friends on Facebook, and one day I remember seeing, he's like, I have a dream. I want to go follow my dream. And I'm doing it, guys. I'm moving out to California to follow my dream to be a voice actor. And I cannot tell you, like, I don't think he really knows either, but that stuck with me because I thought, man, I always get super motivated and encouraged when I hear about men who want to follow a dream. And so his name is Julian Smith. He went out to California. He pursued his dream in voice acting. He has awesome credits to his name. And I can't wait to just get to talk to him more because I got to be honest, since he's moved out there, I haven't really communicated with him in terms of how work is going and how everything works. So I'm excited that we get to do that tonight on the Social and Distancing show. So without further ado, please help me welcome Julian Smith to the show.
Welcome, Julian.
Hey, Julian, how are you doing?
Applause. Top of the morning to you, Julian. Top of the morning.
I told him you're a voice actor, not an accent actor.
He likes it. Look, he liked it.
Hey, man, if it's good, it's good, baby.
Yes. And that's it. I'm an exit. I'm going out.
Hi, Julian. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great too now. I'm way greater now. But what time is it where you're at, by the way?
It is 7:42. We are 2 hours.
He's still early.
Yeah,
it is. So your night's not even really gotten going yet.
Nope. Haven't even had dinner yet.
So the salmon and rice sounded good, didn't it? Yes, it
That's one of my go-to. Salmon, rice, and a vegetable, baby. We keep it clean.
Right. I left out the vegetable part because
Right.
I mean, sometimes you're in a hurry. I understand.
No, I just don't like it.
He just doesn't like it.
He's allergic, Julian. Allergic.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
So, man, long time no see. It's good seeing you moving around and just instead of your pictures all the time that I see on just Facebook, man. Although I did see your video when y'all were playing what was the Switch game?
Was it Ring Fit?
Yes, that's what it was.
A mess. My shoulders were literally on fire. Like that sound I made, I had to make in order to continue going.
He was grunting, guys. He was like, I don't know if you've seen that, but it's like you describe it because I don't know what it's.
So Ring Fit is a Switch game where you take the two controllers. They're the
Joy-Cons.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons, and like one goes into like this wheel basically, and it's pressure sensitive, so you can squeeze it and stretch it, and the game knows how it interprets that data. And the other one you strap around your leg, and basically, it's like playing an RPG, except all the moves you do using exercise. So like all the attacks for the enemies and stuff, you have to like do lunges and then yoga and then bicycles and stuff like that.
I don't like those type of games.
Joe would never play that.
You know what though? I'm kind of right there with you, but they did this so insidiously beautifully. It just makes sense. It's fun to play, and you almost don't care that you're exercising after the first level. Now, if you're brave and you try levels 2 or 3 after that, maybe then. But
right.
If it's just one, no, it's actually quite a bit of fun.
He was in the living room or someone's living room, he and a buddy, and they were going hard at it, and they were like yelling and grunting. They were like, ah!
That was my roommate Bill. Bill is also a voice actor. Bill is also twice my size. Bill works out every single day.
So after that, I went to go online and I looked. I was like, oh, I might want to get this for my kids, and I was like, how much? Excuse me? And I think the prices were inflated because I could only find them for as cheap as $400.
Oh, they were most assuredly inflated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. They might be cheaper now. I know a couple of friends who went out and bought them, but they didn't name prices. But I know they didn't pay $400 for them.
Yeah. I'll have to go
That's
back and look at
madness.
it then, because I think my kids would get a kick. I'd get a kick out of it
It's a
too,
good time.
honestly.
Yeah.
So
And it does, like, it can get real hard. You can make it as easy or as hard as you want, but you will get a workout.
gotcha.
Okay.
So Julian, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, how far back we going here?
Let's not go too far back. Maybe tell us a bit, maybe some of your favorite food, how old you are.
Okay. Well, my name is Julian Smith. I'll be 35 in December. After a while, you just don't care no more.
Yeah, you just stop caring. Yeah. After 25, you just don't really care.
Exactly. Yeah. I like all food. I don't discriminate, baby. If it's good, it's good. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. I spent 10 or 11 years or so in Bloomington, Illinois, where I met Jamie. We worked at State Farm.
We did.
Yeah. I love computers. That's what I was doing out there. I did not like working in cubes. I found that out real quick.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Ironically enough, as I sit in a padded cube. Go figure.
It's amazing what a cube can do, when it's repurposed for something that you love to do versus what you have to do.
There you
kind of,
go.
right?
Mm-hmm. But no,
Okay.
that's. Yeah, I decided before I got too much older, I didn't have kids or anything like that. So I'm like, you know what? Let me make a go of this. Give it an honest college try and see what I can do. So I'm like, I took the plunge. I did some research and decided to just hop on out to California because I wanted to do specifically animation and cartoons and stuff like that, video games.
Okay.
And a lot of that you have to kind of be out here to do because the casting process is pretty fast and furious. Because a lot of stuff you can do elsewhere. Like I could have technically stayed in Bloomington and still done voiceover,
Right.
but it would not have been the same kind of voiceover I wanted to do. But
So you going out to California puts you in a position better to get jobs that you wanted to get versus what you might have just been able to kind of get here.
exactly.
Okay. All right. So so from my perspective, but my stereotype or whatever, it's like, well, if you're going to act on any level, you got to get out to California. You got to get out there because that's where you got to start. That's where the studios are. That's where all the big money's at and stuff. And that's just my stereotype with it. If you want to be any kind of actor, you got to go to California first.
I would say unless you're going to do Broadway,
Uh-huh.
if you're going to do Broadway or any sort of theater stuff, my understanding is New York is the place to be.
Right.
Or it was before,
Good. Yeah.
Anyway,
Good point. Good point.
I know Chicago has a really thriving improv scene that out here as well, but definitely Chicago for improv. So if you're into that sort of stuff, LA specifically is kind of all of that. So definitely you can't go wrong, but it's really competitive. So before you make that move, what was suggested to me through the different avenues that I investigated was, before you go and try to do something like this, even if it's not voiceover, if it's any sort of acting, find what you can locally, take a class, a theater class, see if you enjoy that. If not theater, see if there's stand-up, or I did improv myself because I suck at remembering lines, hence why I get to read them. But improv is great because you learn to kind of let your guard down a little bit in front of an audience because even though I'm in this padded box, in a lot of those padded boxes, there's a big old pane of glass and about 20 people on the other side, and they all got opinions. So you got to be kind of ready to stay loose and be okay with the fact that, half of them might love what you did, the other half might be very vocal about not. So,
if they didn't like it, they'll let you know they didn't like it, and they won't call you back either.
Well, I mean, if you're already in that glass, they've already called you back, and you probably get paid regardless. But next time there's another commercial campaign, maybe not. So. But usually,
wow, so that's interesting. Wait a minute. So, yeah, you normally would get okay.
I'll break
you
it down.
just
Yeah, it's like,
please.
just-
Okay, I don't know what to ask.
Jamie, calm down. Just let him
Sorry.
get the process there.
I'm so sorry.
So-
hey, welcome back, Sandy.
Hello.
So the audition process can go one of two ways. For most things, you audition at home in said cube, or room, or closet, or wherever you're reading from, and that gets sent off to your agent or a casting director or whoever gave you those sides, those character sides, and you do that. You usually give them a couple takes, and then they'll listen to it. You probably won't hear anything back if they didn't pick you, but if they did, there's either callbacks or you got the job. So at that point, they set up the session, and then if it's an on-site session where you're going into a studio somewhere in Los Angeles or wherever, then you show up at your time. They get you a cup of tea or whatever, and then you go in and you meet the casting directors and the engineers and everybody in there, and you say your hellos, and then you generally get to work pretty quick. But I mean, depending upon what you're reading, I've had sessions that lasted literally 5 minutes. I've had sessions that literally lasted 4.5 hours.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Is there a disparity? Like when you have that much of a disparity, is it indicative of anything? Like if you're 5 minute, have you had 5 minute ones that just had spectacular contracts or voiceovers?
So usually the time that is, so the quick ones are usually like commercial stuff where it's like literally you auditioned for this sentence. That sentence is all they need you to say, but they're going to make you say it like 28 times for safety. The 4-hour sessions are usually things where it's like, all right, I am a character in this show or this movie or this game, and first I start out with talking lines. They're coming from the east. They're coming from the west. They're coming from the south, so on and so forth. And then like, okay, now we need you to die like you're having a leg jammed through your neck. Now we need you to die like you're being crushed by a car. Okay, now we need you to die like that car that's crushing you is on fire.
Oh.
And so I'll have to scream for like an hour.
So when they have you, is that like screening or testing, or is that like actual when you're doing your?
No, that's when he has the job. When he's hired for the job.
When you have the job. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, man, because they really threw you through some hoops to,
The auditions are usually like 1/10 of whatever that is.
Oh, okay.
Usually.
Wow. It's so hard where to start with, man. Like I'll just tell you, here's some of the stuff I want to hear. I want to know some of the places that you've done, where we can hear your work. Who were some of your favorite clients or experiences maybe? Tell us, just tell us stuff about your experience doing it. Let me tell you first off, though. Let me tell you first off. I just want to inspire you a little bit, I hope. Look, man, I never told you just how inspiring your story was to me.
Aww.
I talked about you for a very long time in my circles. I talked about you at church. I talked about you with my kids, with my wife, with my family, with friends, anyone who would listen, because I don't know if you understand, like from my perspective, when I hear about men who just have these dreams and goals and then act on it and like full just dive into it, I think that's phenomenal. So you doing that, man, mad respect for you. I think you are a fantastic human being. I think you're a great guy, but you are an inspiration to many.
Thank you.
And so
thank you very much.
I want to make sure you just hear that, okay? I never got to really tell you.
And can I interrupt you for just a second? I don't know if I missed what inspired you to do the voices. Did I miss that?
So I'm a huge nerd. Okay, let me leave with that. I love cartoons and anime and geeky comic books and movies and video games and all that stuff.
Okay.
So all of those things and like just kind of me, my family has kind of always been a bunch of I got creatives and I've got medical people, but kind of song and just joking and all that stuff has kind of just been integral to me as a person and as an experience in my life growing up. And so like Jamie will tell you, people would always ask me to do goofy impressions and stuff like that when they found that I could. So like literally, I think I had moved on from when I worked with you, but I had people from complete different departments. They would hit me up on Messenger, go, hey man, come down, do your Bill Cosby. I am on a call right now. Leave me. All right, I'll be down there in 5 minutes.
just reboot. I'll be back.
So it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, I've always been interested in that sort of stuff.
Okay.
It never really occurred to me that it was a thing you could even really do as a career until I got much older. But that was kind of just forever fascinating to me, and it was always kind of a thing that I just kind of mulled over in the back of my brain a lot. And I had ultimately, I ran into some friends, and these friends, specifically my one of my old roommates and my brother from another mother, Mike Gavonis, who he was from Champaign, but that is important because there's a company in Champaign called Volition Studios, and they make video games.
Yep.
So Mike did Q&A for the Saints Row games, and
nice.
got in good with the audio guys on that team. And those audio guys, Larry Gates, God bless you, I love you. He put us in touch with some voice actors when he found out that we were interested in this. So Mike got to do scratch audio for the Saints Row games, which is hyper cool.
What?
But so in that process, we got to Arif Kenshin, who plays Pierce in Saints Row, is like uncle. Love him to death because he really put us on, and he helped us kind of get our bearings out here. So it was just kind of one of those things where, like, I met Mike playing Street Fighter, so thank you, Street Fighter.
Yeah.
My very first VO gig was a fighting game that I did only because I played Street Fighter with Mike and his friends, and one of his friends it produced video games. So this company, Iron Galaxy, picked up his game, and then I got to voice a character in that game. And
Whoa.
Iron
That's
Galaxy,
so
if you
cool.
don't know, like the latest and greatest game they did was the remake of Killer Instinct. That was an Xbox One launch title, which is
I was just talking about that
favorite
this
fighting game
week.
franchise of all time. Yeah.
They had like the tournament here recently, or my coworker was telling me about it. He was like, "Dude, you got to watch the Killer Instinct tournaments. They're awesome."
Yes. But yeah, so I didn't get to work on that game, unfortunately. But if only. But
Yeah.
but yeah.
Who would you voice if you could?
Oh man, that's a good question. Well, TJ combos, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite character was always Thunder, Chief Thunder.
Yes, that's my favorite.
Yeah, okay. See, that's why we
Yes.
friends.
Yeah.
But,
I was a Black Orchid all the way. Black
ooh,
Orchid
she's
all
good
the way.
too.
See, she's good.
But yeah, so like just that was my first gig, and I kind of that bit me hard. Like we drove up to Chicago to do that because Iron Galaxy, I think their main headquarters is still in Chicago, but they got some stuff out in Florida now too. But I drove up with some friends, and we all recorded our lines, and that was like the greatest day of my life because that was my very first paid VO gig, and it was in a fighting game. There was like nothing greater.
And you're like, now it's time. You're like, now it's time. I'm doing it.
I think I even posted something on Facebook like alluding to that. I was like, you know what? I just got to talking to a microphone, and I got to be in a video game, and it was the greatest thing I've ever done, and I want to keep doing that forever.
Oh man,
Exactly.
that's awesome. That is so awesome. Like, so you had this inkling, and then when you really got the fire for it, it was on a fighting game that inspired you to help you want to go do this, and so it's kind of like a full circle.
Absolutely.
Full circle for you on that.
Now you have to tell us about your journey to LA. Because I can imagine how scary that is. Because again, it's fear. That's like, oh my goodness, I'm going to do this now. So I'd love to hear how that went.
And you guys, Bloomington's smaller than Lubbock.
Yeah,
We are smaller than.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like Bloomington normal is 170,000 together, but one of us is probably like Wilfred Sandy.
Really?
Right.
Lubbock,
Yeah.
as in Lubbock, Texas.
Yep.
Lubbock, Texas?
Lubbock, Texas?
So funny, small like little pop-up video cliff note here.
What?
One of my earliest VO gigs when moving out here, there's a chain called Taco Villa. I did commercials for Taco Villa for about a year.
Really?
Wow.
Are you serious?
I'm very
We
serious.
all know Taco Villa, dude.
Yeah.
Taco Villa, Tex-Mex with a twist.
That is awesome.
That's awesome, Julian. Wow.
That was forever ago. That was like back in 2016 or 17, I think.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That wasn't
is-
too long ago.
Actually,
So
no,
you
it was
you both
definitely
were probably
earlier
hearing
than that.
him and never even realized it too.
Yeah, exactly.
All of y'all, everyone watching.
Yeah.
That is kind of neat. That is so neat.
But yeah, so the journey out here, first and foremost, I really got to credit my mom because she really kind of just helped put the wind under my sails, because there was something that she told me, and I will never forget this as long as I live and draw breath. And she said to me, she was like, son, whatever you do, if you're scared, do it scared. And it was the most elegantly simple thing I'd ever heard, and it made insane amounts of sense at that moment. And I'm like, that's all I need. I got this.
Oh, those mamas, they're so smart.
I'm just Andy.
And I didn't do it alone. That's the big thing. So I would say, to just as a quick side note again, to anybody who's looking to do that, don't just do it. Please think about it, because it is an ordeal. It is expensive. Moving anywhere is expensive, but moving across country to one of the most expensive housing markets in the nation.
Oh my gosh.
But that having been said, make sure you're prepared. That was really it. I had help. It was me, my girlfriend at the time, and it was my roommate Mike, who I just mentioned. So we moved out together. So it was 3 of us, and it was still brutal.
Wow.
But, Mike is a voiceover. He's a voice actor like me. You go out there and you just try to make it happen. But the drive was great. We did it in the summertime. In fact, tomorrow or Saturday rather, the 1st will be 6 years.
That is
really.
Yeah. So it's kind of serendipitous we're having this talk right now.
And Julian, you know what's so cool? Because that was my first thought. Is how did your mama feel about it? Because
she said the best thing when I told her I was thinking about doing this. She told me, she's like, "Okay, son, who told you you'd be good at this?"
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I respect that.
I totally hear Sandy saying that.
That was the realest thing anybody could have ever said, because you get people all the time going, "Oh man, you do great voices. You'd be so good at blah, blah, blah." Like, they don't know nothing. No offense. You love them. You appreciate people, gassing you up. But at the same time, sometimes you need people to be like, "All right, okay, but can we think about who told you?"
Yeah.
So I'm glad that she did that, because.
So is mom still up here? Is she still?
Oh yeah, mom is in Michigan. She's in Detroit. She was in the chat. I don't know if she's still in the chat now, but I think
was that? Hold on, I think I did see someone at the very top.
You know what? I think she commented
not
before we started.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
no, that's not her.
I love you too, Marilyn.
No, that's not her.
Okay, I can't find it.
I don't see it either.
I think I saw her her name down.
It may have been on his feed.
It could.
Gotcha. Liza has a comment here. She said, "I wanted to be a cartoon when I was little.
Aww.
Voiceover work seems like the next best thing."
Well, I mean, if you're doing voiceover work for cartoons, that's it. That's it.
Okay,
you're a cartoon.
You are a cartoon.
All right. So Joe, did you? He's out in California now, Joe. So can we ask him about what he's done now? What he's doing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was gonna be like, so we're done with all the background stuff. I want to hear some voices.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not an impressionist. I can do some, but I get a lot. People are like, "So
that's what I can
do
tell
voiceover, do some voices." I'm like,
yeah, do some voices. No, I heard Bill Cosby though. Somebody said that you could do Bill Cosby.
I can do the Bill Cosby. And I would have to go down to the different desks.
Oh,
they would ask me to do this voice, and it was stupid because I don't think it's any good, but people enjoy it.
Awesome, Julian. Look at you.
That was awesome.
So I want to hear about the voiceover, but I want to hear about the journey to each of these. Like, I want to know what was one of your first gigs when you got there? What was the one that you really were like, "Oh my gosh, this just happened"?
So, real talk, and this is the one that got away, but it was incredible that it was the first audition that I ever got out here. My first audition was for Street Fighter V.
Oh,
Street Fighter V, and I was, okay, Mike got his. Oh, but it was a reef. God bless him. He was the one who hooked us up with that. There's a lot of like layers and like political stuff that goes on with union and non-union stuff, and honestly, some of that stuff they probably don't want me talking about, so I'm gonna shut up. Right now. But basically, that was my first audition out here, and like I don't even care. I got callbacks, which basically means they liked me enough to like Capcom wanted to hear me again. But the guy that edged me out, because I read for a couple different roles, and the one I really wanted, the guy that got it, we were like this close.
Oh man,
It's like a coin flip.
Yeah, but you
Basically.
know what? No hard feelings. It was the announcer voice. I would have been in every single match. But no, that was I had never in a million years thought I'd see an audition for something like that. Like, especially not the first thing I get upon hitting the ground in hitting California soil. That's the first audition I get. Are you insane?
Right.
So I was super stoked about that.
I'd have been too. Man, that's awesome.
Do you think that first audition was like the door opening right there, or was there another moment that you would say?
Here's the thing. No, because it's funny you mentioned that, because I think there was a Twitter thread a friend of mine posted or was talking about just a day or two ago, where a lot of people get it twisted. They think that, oh, there's just a big break that you get. That is so rare. You don't get hired out here because you just got a big break. Generally, you get hired because you took the time and you worked the smaller jobs that are not sexy, which I'll talk about that later.
Okay.
And you become consistent, and like you have to network. You got to talk to people. Look, I'm an introvert. I'm a super duper introvert, but you have to. You got to get out there and you got to mingle and you got to talk with people who are the ones casting for the jobs and your peers and all that stuff. That is what gets you hired. That, and obviously sounding good. You have to, be
right. Some talent is required.
at least to some degree. You
Well, so you need talent? Dang it.
a little bit, just a little bit. No,
Sorry,
Joe,
Joe. Sorry.
Oh,
Just a little
you
bit.
get my hopes there.
Stay behind the camera for now, Joe.
Right.
But yeah, that is kind of like the, what's the word I'm looking for? Misnomer is not it, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. Like that is kind of a misconception that that a lot of people get twisted. They're like, oh, I just got to get out here and get an agent and get my big break, and all of a sudden I'm driving a Tesla.
He went with Tesla.
It makes sense. So it fits.
I was like, wait, do you know how many Lamborghinis I saw when I was in California?
Man, you know how many Lamborghinis I see on the regular?
Right, exactly.
I saw two pulling into the Target the other day. It was crazy.
What?
Target.
Yes, just Target.
Just Target.
Grocery getters.
Yeah.
Groceries in a Lambo, no big.
Right.
They're like, this is my Uber ride. Uber my groceries.
Nice. Yeah. So
Okay,
yeah,
so
let's go ahead. Jim.
You got a Street Fighter. Okay, so tell us what was one of the ones that you like. What is one that you just had like the heart for, where you felt like the passion, maybe not the excitement, but this passion. You were like, man, I'm really feeling this one. I really want this one. And maybe you got it, maybe you didn't, but tell us about one of those experiences.
There was one, and like here's the thing. After a while, you get sent so many auditions and you read for them so regularly that you just kind of don't care anymore. You kind of have to not, because if you internalize every single audition you do, you'll drive yourself insane, because
Right.
it's like silent no's constantly.
Oh, okay.
There was one I did, and it's actually one of the clips that I sent you. There was a
We have clips.
yeah, we have clips. But there was a Carvana commercial spot. There was actually 2 or 3 of them that we did, and it was the coolest thing ever, because first of all, I didn't think I was going to get this, because they wanted announcer people, and they needed a straight man, and they needed like the actual kind of color commentator guy, and they didn't tell you what you were going to get. So not only did I get the gig, which was super cool because it was like my first big commercial campaign,
Okay.
but I got to work with Wally Wingert, who, if you don't know who that is, I know you'll know. You remember, you watched
Kermit
Jay
the
Leno,
Frog.
yes?
Oh no.
You ever
Jay
watched
Leno?
the Jay Leno show?
Yeah. Coward. No, not Coward. Sorry. The
That
dog.
was past my bedtime.
Just
The
say
dog.
no.
Huh?
If it's no, it's no. But okay, Wally Wingert was like the announcer for the Jay Leno show.
Oh, okay. I thought I can't remember the dog's name now, but anyway, okay.
From
He's the
beautiful
announcer.
downtown Burbank. Blah, blah, blah. It's
Oh,
Jay
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Leno. I got to work with that dude.
Really?
And it was awesome because he's awesome.
Really?
Yes. So that was
Oh,
super
man.
cool. That was big time. I'm like, I've made it.
Right.
Yes.
From the
Yes,
top.
Lord.
You're like, I'm right next to him. I'm among the greats.
Mm-hmm. No, that was great. Getting to pick somebody's brain like that was probably almost better than booking the gig, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you?
because-
So what do you ask someone when you're next to one of the greats or whatever? What are some of the questions that run through your mind to ask them? What are some of the like if I happen to be by someone who like you one day and I don't know you though, what can I ask them that makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about?
See, the object is to not know what you're talking about. The object is to glean information, whatever is important in that moment right then and there. So honestly, a lot of the time it would be me just really paying attention to what he did, his mannerisms, how he interacted with the casting director and the engineer, and then getting to ask him about promo and some of the work that he had done in the past that I knew him for. So that was really, when I say picking his brain, because one of the things he told me was that his work paid great. But he couldn't go anywhere. he literally called it golden handcuffs because promo pays incredibly well out here. But they need you all the time because there's always new shows and new episodes and new shows. And they need that guy. And they're going to pay you. But you can't go nowhere. You want to go to the beach? Too bad. Promo. You want to go visit your family? Too bad. Promo. And take your hundreds of thousands of dollars and leave. Just go home.
So
Go
it's a
home.
demanding
So
position, what you're
But
saying.
that's how those the talk show hosts are too, right? Like those guys can't go anywhere either.
Nope.
Man.
That is why they have gigantic homes. Because you don't care if you don't have anywhere to go because your backyard faces the Hollywood sign.
Fair enough. So, Julian, one of my favorite things that I like to watch a lot is anime.
Yeah.
Do you have any? Do you have? Thank you. Do you have any? Did you do any work in anime or cartoons?
Cartoons? Yes, I cannot talk about that yet.
Oh! Look at him.
Anime. I'm anime adjacent. My roommate is actually in One Punch Man. And some other stuff.
Shut the front door.
No way.
Yeah, the guy I was doing the ring fit with, Bill. Yeah, he was a villain in like the last season of One Punch Man. And a lot of my friends do anime out here. So yeah, I'm anime adjacent. That is on the list of things to get done, but that's a whole different kind of thing to do. It's very different than what I do on the regular.
Really?
It's hard. It's the hardest stuff, and unfortunately, it doesn't pay the best. But you do it for the love, and you do it for at the time, you did it for conventions, but obviously.
Yeah. Dang it. What were you going to ask, Sandy?
Well, I was going to say, do you have like a list of things like cereal commercial check, car commercial check?
Kind of.
Your voice actor bingo card?
Yeah.
The bingo. You know what? Maybe I should actually just make a bingo card. I kind of have like a little bucket list. Anime is definitely pretty high up there because I too am a giant otaku and I love anime. But yeah, just I've already done a couple video games. I can talk about some of that stuff. Okay, that is a recurring theme. Anytime you're going to talk to a VO, just expect to hear the word NDA. Non-disclosure agreements they make you sign for. Some of this stuff is forever. They're one of my favorite gigs. I literally can't talk about online at all.
Julian, well, we understand what that's like. We have NDAs as well.
Oh yeah,
Right, yeah.
That's right. We get it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sandy.
It's over there on the. It's over there. It's over there.
We get it, man. We get you. We get it.
But hey, I do have some clips.
Okay.
I'd have the clips up so that way, if you want to talk about them,
Roll the
and then we
clips.
can kind of see. Let me see if I can get it bigger here. Okay.
I'm excited for this, Julian.
I
I listened
know, I
to
am
some of your
too.
demos and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's so cool.
All right, I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to share the screen. All right, so kind of preface this one.
Okay, so I was talking about the Carvana commercials I did with Wally Wingert. That is this. Me and him were basically like play-by-play announcers And you'll totally, the moment he hits play, you'll totally get the vibe. It's got a super NFL kind of feel to it. And we're just basically just heckling this dude as he does this, goes through this game show. I'll let it speak for itself.
Here we go.
Welcome back to the dealership where Mitch is trading in his two-seater for a minivan.
Minivan? I hear it comes with an optional dad bod.
He promised his wife he'd get 10 grand for their
I thought
trade.
he was talking.
Ooh, no pressure.
And he's off.
He's got the speed.
He's on track.
He's up. Nothing can stop this guy.
Except that.
Grab your diaper bag because Daddy just made a mess.
Don't play the game. Get a fair trade-in for your car at Carvana.
Nice.
Dude, that was awesome, man. That was so good.
Yeah, those were super fun to do. There were like 3 or 4 of them. They were great.
And here's the thing: is like you don't even realize the work that goes into a commercial. I mean, I don't ever think the only guy that I think about is the one that reads the fine print.
It has to read it super fast.
Yeah.
A lot of times you have to read that clean. They don't speed you up.
See, and I always wondered about that.
Sometimes they do, but more often than not, yeah, you read that straight.
Yeah.
Have you had to read some of those before?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Okay, so here's the next one.
So this is Dive Kick. This is my very first VO gig. I'm the dude with the giant head. His head is not always giant, for context, because later on in the clip you'll see it's normal size. But basically, this video game is a giant fighting game in joke. That is probably the best way I can explain it to you, because otherwise it will make no sense. But it's 2 buttons. This game is super cool, especially if you're into drinking games and stuff like that. It's like jump, there's dive, there's the jump / dive button and the kick button. It's great.
Is this a mobile game then? So this is a mobile game?
It should be a mobile game. We talked about that. It's actually not, but you can get it anywhere else, like PS4, Steam,
all right, good. So it's like 2.5 minutes. It's almost 3 minutes long.
You do have to watch the whole thing.
So we'll probably do like 30 seconds or so.
Sure.
Round 4. Dive kick.
Look at these guns!
Yeah, his head gets big every time he wins.
Round 1.
Oh, I see.
It's the ego. The man is very, very about himself.
Round 2. Dive kick.
So you had to go and then
Oh yeah, it was mostly that. It was that and me screaming at the top of my lungs. Like later on in the clip, that there's like he's got like a couple catchphrases he yells, but they're real brief. But it was just like it was super intense because I was screaming like Macho Man Randy Savage the entire time. You know, it was just like, I sounded like this by the end of the session, but it was great.
You're like, it's great. Just sign the check.
Baby.
So do you have like anyone? I guess I'm trying to picture like how do you get that noise to come out? Like do you have somebody maybe just pretending to jab you and you go or?
Oh, I mean you kind of like I pantomime as much as I can without disturbing the microphone. So if I'm taking a hit, I'll be in the booth and you get. Again, this is where the improv kind of comes in because most people get really self-conscious when they're like, I don't want to act like I'm getting hit. I'll look dumb. It's like, who cares? You know,
right.
You can't see.
You kind of like, I'll kind of, you know, you.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
And like the blood-curdling screams are just that.
Right.
I'll spare you those.
Yeah. So is this when you're totally talking then on this one?
So this one, Diversity EDU is one of my absolute favorite clients. I love them. They are excellent. Basically what this is kind of my bread and butter stuff. So the video games and all that stuff is great. Diversity EDU, and I got a bunch of other narration clients. That's kind of my bread and butter. It's my day-to-day stuff. This client, what they do is they set up like training courses for onboarding for colleges, for teachers and staff and students, talking about equality and microaggressions and things of that sort. Just kind of getting people all on the same level. And I do basically all the narration for that stuff, which is really cool.
EDU offers online courses for students, faculty and staff, and faculty search committees at educational institutions of all kinds. Our course takers learn the skills they need to engage successfully with diversity and make choices that grow inclusion. Our courses are learning, not training. Diversity EDU informs rather than directs decisions by teaching skills everyone needs for a successful career on campus and beyond. We are proactive, not...
That's nice. It's like
Dude.
smooth.
It's so smooth. It's like butter. It's like
Exactly.
Thank you.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Julie,
was one
you're
of-
awesome, dude.
Aw.
You're dope.
Oh,
There's a lot of
Seriously.
S's in there too, and I was like, how does he do it without so much?
I have diversity. I just rolls. Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
but
I love
also the
that.
inflection, dude. Like it's just sound like, wow.
He's like,
Thank you.
yeah, pop the collar. Pop the collar.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. This show is about you, Julian. So yes.
Okay, what's this one?
So this one was a commercial I did for a game called Clash of Kings, I believe. Super brief commercial, but I just thought it was a super cool commercial, and it was kind of a good one to throw in there just for variety, since I had
Okay, so you doing the voiceover or you?
just the voiceover.
Okay, let's hear it.
Apart, we are nothing. But as one, we are everything. United we fight. Clash of Kings. Download now.
No, that's cool.
Dude, that was awesome.
Yeah,
They're like, we need you to come in with a warrior voice.
pretty much.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and that was cool because that was my very first remote gig. The studio that I recorded that in, or with rather, they were in England. I was in my bedroom.
Nice.
The very first clients I got when I moved out here, so I was super.
Oh, that's so awesome.
This one's cool. This is a recent one.
This is a recent one?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a commercial I did for the Microsoft Surface. And so it was NFL and Microsoft in the same credit, which was super cool.
Oh, nice.
So I bookend this one. So I'm at the very beginning and then I'm at the very end.
Okay.
And in between, it's all like the NFL players doing NFL player stuff. Being rich and looking fly.
Exactly.
Not special, kid. Anyone can be replaced. You want to make it out here? Keep your head down. Work hard. But don't stand out. You're not paid for your personality. So just blend in and be ordinary. Ordinary like me? Or ordinary. Be anything but.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's slick, dude.
Thank you.
Julian, that's so awesome. I'm gonna tell you a funny story real quick. So I've always had a thing for voices. Like my mom would tell me that I used to listen to this radio DJ, and she said he'd come on 3:00 in the afternoon. It was his show or whatever time. She said I'd come running in because I knew he was coming. So I'd sit down and I listened. She said I think it was his voice. He said yeah, she had a really good smooth DJ voice. Well, anyway. He happened to be doing something on TV, and Mom said, you just came running. You heard his voice and you came running and you were like, it's him. And then I saw him and he happened to be like this old guy. And I'm like, nah, I'm out. so apparently his voice was awesome, but he had a face for radio. So.
It be like that sometimes. Sometimes. Hey, man.
Nice.
Well, I do love voices. There's some people that have awesome phone voices. My librarian, she had the best reading voice. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I love your voice, Julian.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Julian, tonight I had to go record a short piece of a video with three others for a video that we're going to play at church on Sunday. And I was like, if Julian was here, I was trying to channel my inner Julian. And so we went through it the first time, and then something happened. We're like, okay, let's do it one more time. And we did it the time. And while we were rewatching it, everyone was like, wow, you read that really good. Like everything was very clear, and I was like, thank you, Julian.
Well, I'll tell you what. Just here's a free tidbit for next time. And one of my mentors, Richard Horvitz. Did you watch Nickelodeon stuff like Invader Zim or Angry Beavers or any of that stuff?
No, I watched some of the earlier stuff, but none of that stuff.
That's fine. This dude's amazing. He's all over that stuff. But one of the things that he teaches in his classes is you have to find your want. And like at every piece of copy, every script you pick up, no matter if it's a sentence or 13 paragraphs on one page, I don't know how they do that. But anyway, you get what I'm saying? There is a want statement. There is something in that copy where you can go, what is my want? My want is da 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 da. And you use that to kind of inform your read. And like it kind of gives you like why you're saying what you're saying. How actors kind of go, what's my motivation? Kind of like that, except a little less,
drama,
a little less
dramatic,
a little less frou-frou. But no, it's kind of that's very real, and it does help. Like when you go in and you're thinking about why you're saying what you're saying and why you're reading it, it can sound totally different than somebody who has no idea. And they could be putting on a voice, and the voice could be great, but if the voice is great but the intent is not there, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So
what
like
is my what?
So so give us an example
want.
for like the NFL one that you just between the Surface and the NFL. What was your want on that one?
So the want there. So basically, I'm the coach. So you read the size and it basically says, all right, you're this coach. You're about 35, 40 years old, maybe a little older. And then I was reading the copy that you're not special, kid. That was it. That's why I put that stank on that line. Right. I'm like, all right, this dude is pretty much, he's trying to like tear these dudes down. You are not special. Don't stand out because you can't. All of you are all right, I guess. Just be ordinary. You'll be fine.
Right.
Like a drill sergeant almost.
Right.
So that was the energy I used.
Julie,
nice.
can I get a copy of that so I can talk to my kids like that?
You're not special, kid.
Exactly.
We'll record that and put it on the track for you, Sonny, so that way you can always to the kids. You put it on your phone, and whenever they're whatever, you'd be like, just want to remind you.
Right.
Julian said,
Get one of those easy buttons that you can record
There
stuff
you go.
on.
Exactly.
In case you forgot. You ain't special, kid.
You ain't special. You ain't it.
I like that. Man, Julian, we are at 57 minutes.
Time flies.
So, jeez, dude. Yeah, I feel like I'd like to know more about the voice acting from you, honestly. But look, we always give all of our guests, I got something in my eye, so I'm sorry, Joe.
You're good. Look, man, I understand. Last night I was doing that. What is here? There's nothing in my eye. What is happening? Oh my God.
So while he's playing with his eye, Julian, we're going to give you some time to go ahead and plug whatever you want. And if it's world peace, your favorite chicken and dumplings recipe, whatever you want to do, the screen is now yours.
The screen is now mine. Okay, well. I would say this. Well, first things first, let's get the social media junk out of the way. You can follow me, Julian Smith, at Vox by Jules. That's VOXBYJ00LZ on Twitter. And on Instagram, where I also post some of my music I make, it is Beats by Jules, same J00LZ. All one word, all lowercase. And then I would also, where'd I put that hat? I was going to actually wear this hat, but the lighting got kind of funky. It's a little dark. But hustle matters. You probably see, if you've seen any of my photos on social media, half the time I'm wearing these hats. Hustle Matters is my cousin's brand, and it keeps me going, honestly, because I believe in this wholeheartedly. This has gotten me through some stuff.
Nice.
I love that.
HustleMatters.shop. They got hats, they got T-shirts, and they just came out with a whole bunch of new merch. If you fancy it, by all means, HustleMatters.shop. Check it out.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Can you spell your Instagram again?
I sure can. It's Beats by Jules. That's BEATSBYJ00LZ.
00LZ. Found you.
Yeah, because we're going to put that all in the comments so people can follow you and all that fun stuff. So Awesome. Oh, and finally, for the last question, we always like for our guests to give us a topic for a future show. It might be in the way future because we're way behind right now, but still, we'd like for you to come up with a topic. PG-13, positive. What you got for us?
So, we've already established I'm a gigantic fighting game nerd. It would be really cool if you guys did something with esports, even if it's not specifically fighting games. If you did something with like League of Legends or esports in general, that would be super cool.
That is nice.
Okay, I'm sure Jamie and Joe are going to love that one.
Esports. Yes. Perfect. All right, we got you down. Julian, thanks so much for coming on the show and sharing your story and letting us know what it takes to become a voice actor. And we loved all your clips. It's amazing stuff, bro. Amazing stuff.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
And thank you. And that's a lot of work. Like I said, you don't even realize until you talk to somebody that does it, what the work that goes into that. You know, you just think you're just reading and you're good.
Yeah. A whole bunch of people think that. Because you sound pretentious saying that, but it's like, I mean, it's just like with anything, you know.
Right. Well, Julian, we're going to let you go because we got to talk about the show last part. You're welcome to stay in the green room to hang out with us a little bit after the show.
Sure.
But if it's past your bedtime or whatever, you're not going to hurt our feelings. No, all right, we'll talk to you soon. And thanks again, sir. I appreciate it so much.
Thanks, Julian.
Oops. So,
what was his question? What was his interesting topic for the
esports.
Sweet. Jet's gonna love that.
I said I knew that you guys would like that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So, what do we got coming for tomorrow, y'all?
Well, tomorrow...
It's a surprise.
Surprise. It's not a surprise. I don't think it's a surprise.
It'll be a surprise to me.
Oh, okay. It's our last Feel Good Friday episode, everyone. So Dr. Pineapples is going to start the show answering your your relationship questions that you emailed to her. You can still get them in. I can't say for sure, but she might be able to fit you in. She might not.
Right.
Remember, you can email. This is our last one, so let's send her off with a good question.
A
juicy one, you know?
Good.
An entangled question, maybe. All right? Remember, you send that to...
Question.
You send that over to the social UnDistancing show at gmail.com and put Dr. Pineapples in the subject line, and she might answer your question tomorrow.
She might answer the question.
And then after that, we're going to come with our Feel Good Stories of the week.
Oh,
no, our Feel Good Stories for the show. We'll bring them for you. Sorry.
Okay. Feel Good for the year.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely see what I can do.
You were on you skid by last week because you rode on someone's tail.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You can stop that anytime.
You had for last week, you could probably use for tomorrow.
I don't even. Okay, never mind.
And you know what? It's so hard to top last week.
Yeah, it was very hard to top.
I'm just gonna sit out this time.
Yeah.
Tap
Hey,
out.
and don't forget, tomorrow we have the after show where all bets are off. So
no script.
No script.
So if you haven't signed up into the after show fan group, you might want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Join the fan group, check out, and then you'll see if our personas change when we're not on air and stuff.
And we might have are we going to have an interesting news bit to share tomorrow? I think we are.
I don't know.
Oh, we will. So we're going to have some fun news to share in the after show. We'll share it with everyone else afterwards, but you're going to like it. So you'll really want to show up because it's going to be out of this world news.
See, it's a surprise.
Surprise!
I don't know.
Everyone, we love you so much. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Go over and give Julian a like on his social media and make sure you follow him. And as usual,
remember to wash your hands
for at least 20 seconds.
Yeah, filthy animals.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for
Good
watching.
night.
I don't even remember what we talked about last Feel Good Friday. Did I have some homework lined up for that?
You
no,
probably
you didn't.
didn't.
No.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I don't remember doing that.
Remember, you were under the weather.
C+ work. Let me tell you how to get through with C+ work, y'all.
Let's please not. Let's not.
You felt
Don't
good
let your kids watch.
Don't even know